What's happening, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Now this video is going to be almost a guide in how you can make 2022 the best year for you, whether that's financially, spiritually, physically, whatever it is that you want to achieve this year. As I said before, I'm using this platform to help people grow in order to make themselves better people, whether that's trading or whether or not you're just trying to make yourself a better person in general. Stick around and hopefully I can guide you into some kind of prosperity. So if you're new around here, drop us a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the video. Okay, first things first, 2022, new year, new me. Yeah, just stop with that first and foremost. New year, new me is just such a cringe thing to say. You know, if you're waiting for a new year before you act on anything or doing anything, then realistically, you're probably gonna have the same year you had previously. Because if you're waiting for a new year to change, probably not that important to you. If someone said to you, if you keep going the way that you're going, you're going to end up dying next year because of bad habits or whatever it is that you're doing, you wouldn't leave it until next year to change. You'd look to change now and do the best you possibly can because your life depends on it. And in this sort of situation, if you are a trader or if you are someone that's looking to make as much money as possible, wherever it is this year, your life really does depend on it, especially if you're someone who's got a family, kids and whatever else, and you're looking to be the supplier for them and you're looking to change their lives as much as you are. You really need to take this seriously as much as you possibly can. So let's have a look and see what it is that I'm going to be doing in 2022 and whether or not you can implement this into your life yourself. And first things first, for me, trading obviously is my main source of income. I have been trading now. I've been trading now for a number of years, I think 3 or 4 years now. I only do trading. There is nothing else that I do in the sense of making money from elsewhere. So my life purpose at the minute is to make as much money as possible from trading. So what am I doing different this year with my trading? So first and foremost, I am actually going to be using a new broker. I'm using a broker in Australia. The reason why I'm doing that is because you can get leverage of 500 to 1. Now for me, when I first started trading, my concern was never on leverage, like how much money can I make per trade or whatever it was. My main concern was to be consistent and actually make money. Because a lot of people, I think, come into trading and think they're going to come in and smash it straight away and make millions of pounds within the first few weeks. It really isn't the case, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. So for me, at the start of trading, it was just me focusing on how I can be consistent and the money will come at a later stage. Yeah, I've only ever used IG Index, and here in the UK, they are what they are, trustworthy. You can contact them whenever you need to. If there's ever an issue, they can get back in contact with you straight away. So there's never been an issue in that sense with IG. The only thing I would say for me is why I'm doing it is because of leverage. I'm not going to be going mad with this new broker. I'm going to be testing out first and foremost, obviously, making sure everything's okay. If you have been following me on Instagram on LockStockTom, you will notice that I have been trading for MT4, MT5. That's with a different broker. And I've been using different leverages on there, which again, MT5 is what it is. It's not a platform where you're going to make loads of technical analysis and everything else. For me, it's just a tool to place the trade on. I still will be using IG Index charts because I like their charting system and I think they're great. And I use their pivot points, which has been a big game changer for me. Don't know how I've never used them before because they're respected so much. If you want to see a video on how I use it and how I trade them daily, then put it in the comments because, you know, they've probably changed my trading, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to be using a new broker. Looking forward to that. That's the first move that I'm making in sense of expanding my knowledge in trading. But obviously with leverage, if you are a new trader, don't focus on leverage at the minute because you can make as much as you can, lose as much. Just focus on being consistent at the minute. And when you get that consistency, then look for brokers elsewhere or whatever else that do have the higher leverage if that's something that you want to look for. And just on another note, I believe that we're going to continue this whole COVID situation of lockdowns and whatever it is, and vaccination, triple vaccinations, quadruple vaccinations, 7,000 vaccinations until we're 90 years old. So for me, I know what's coming. We saw this in the back end of 2020 coming into 2021, and there's already an Omicron variant, there's an already Delta variant. They're also now saying there's a flu, Rona, which is basically the flu. But again, it's another variant, so there's going to be another potential reason to lock everyone down. So the reason why I'm saying that is because trading is probably the best area. Well, I'm speaking on behalf of myself here, but trading for me has been a brilliant area to be involved in the whole of this corona situation because for one, you don't need to be anywhere. You know, I've got my setup here, I've got my 4 screens, nice and simple setup, and I can be sitting in my house trading away whilst everybody else is locked at home and doing Zoom and everything else. And the benefit of that, I don't have to rely on anybody to worry about whether or not I'm gonna have a job or not. And two, I'm my own boss, so I can trade at any sort of situation I can. On a £1,000 account, you can go like £5 a point on Wall Street. Obviously, I'm not advising you to do that. And with these new brokers, £5 a point on Wall Street is a decent size, and you can make some serious money with that. Obviously, if you know what you're doing. Learning to trade, even just starting to build your knowledge up on it is going to be hugely beneficial to anybody out there, because as I said, I think this is going to continue until we're like 970 years old, but that's just me. This is now for the people that are trading and are consistent and are making money. Now's the time to scale. If you have been making money over the last year, 2 years, however long you've been doing it, now's the time to bite the bullet and scale up. You know, for me, I scaled up slowly over time, where I would have a green week, I'd reward myself with an extra pip size on my position size. And then the following week do the same and the same. And if I had a red week, I'd lower a position size just by £1 a point or wherever it would be. So now it's time to scale up, because as I said, you want to scale up and make as much money as possible this year, but you also don't want to be solely just focusing on trading. You want to be looking at other areas now that can pay you passively. And if you haven't already, go back and look at some of my videos where I talk about what I'm investing into that pays me passively. You know, I'm invested into a fund at the minute that pays a 4.98% dividend over the yearly period. It works out that every £10,000 you got in there, it pays you £50 a month. So if you scale that up to 100, that's £500 a month dividend. And if you scale that up to 1 million, that's £5,000 a month dividend. That's my goal this year, just building that up, building it up, building it up. And eventually I want to be living on passive income. I don't want to be sitting trading and just focusing on trading my whole life. I want to be doing other things and whatever else. And my passive income's covering my expenses and paying me a healthy sum every single month. Imagine that, you know, you've got passive income of 50 grand a month. You're not even lifting a finger. Your investments are doing your work for you. 50 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 50 grand a month, just paying you. That's the goal for me, and that's where I want to be in terms of paying myself monthly and making money via passive income. And one thing I would say as well, turn off the news, because there's a world outside this little bubble that we're all in at the minute, and you turn on the news and all it is COVID this, deaths this, lockdowns this, restrictions this. It's just painful, and you can understand why unfortunately there's so many suicides at the minute, so many people depressed, because all they're doing is consuming this negative data, and you are what you eat effectively. So if you're constantly consuming all this negative, you're going to feel yourself. It's just how the world works. So turn that all off. Just turn on the financial news that benefits your trading, or if it benefits your work or whatever. Just focus on reading positive stuff. For me, I'm going to be reading 1 book a month, and I'm not reading like a novel about Harry Potter or whatever. I'm going to be reading, you know, productive books. I've got piles of books here ready to go, you know what I mean? So I'm ready to hit the ground running with these books. And obviously one massive thing are goals. Goals are so important. You know, I ain't gonna go into too much detail about goals. I've done a video previously on how to set them and everything else, but I'm gonna be doing monthly goals and setting down time scales, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, in order to be able to achieve my goals on a monthly, weekly, yearly basis. Because, you know, you need something to drive you. You know, you can make all this money trading, but if you're not doing anything with it, it becomes quite tedious. And if you look back on my previous video, that's what I was talking about. I started to make this money and everything else, but I wasn't doing anything with it. It just become quite boring, and that can make you go into your comfort zone. You can go sort of downhill from there, which I explained in the previous video, because you're almost getting to a certain point and then you're like, what now? And if you haven't set out any new goals or anything else, you just become stagnant. And you know, that's the issue. You end up going backwards. So for me, goals are massive this year. Just setting them every month, going through exactly how I'm going to be doing it every single month to a very, very vivid detail as well. It's almost like how much I need to make a day, a month, a week, whatever it is. A big thing that I massively neglected last year, I had some personal reasons with health and everything else, but fitness for me this year, I started all this in the back end of the year as well. As I said, I haven't waited to the new year to say new year, new me. I had all this prepared, and everything was sort of snowballing from when I first started this in the back end of 2020, and now we're rolling into 2021 with momentum. We're not trying to get momentum now the year started. We've had the momentum building into the new year, and now we can push on and really push on. Fitness, so important. Clear head, clear mind. You can focus better, you can trade better. Even if you just go for a walk or go for a little run or this, that and the other. For me, this year, my fitness is going to be impeccable. I'm going to look like an Adonis. I'm joking, but yeah, I am going to be focusing massively on my training because, as I said, I'm happiest when I'm training, I'm happiest when I'm fit and healthy, and I perform better and I'm a better person all round, so why would I not do that? But yeah, just be a beast. I'm not going to go into lots of detail about exactly what it is that I'm doing and everything else, but it's important this year that you really sort of step up and level up because people are relying on you. People are relying on you, whether it's family, friends, partners, whatever. We ain't kids anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'm 28 years old now and I've got 7 kids on the way. I haven't really, but it's that time of your life now where you've got to start pushing on and you really got to start smashing it up because your 30s around the corner, for me anyway, and you know, you can't be one of them people that just plodding through life. I'm not doing that and I'm sure you ain't doing that. So listen, let's make lots of money this year. You know, I'm not talking about lots of money, I'm talking about like disgusting amounts of money. Almost at a point where you throw up when you look at your bank account. I'm joking. But yeah, listen guys, big year ahead. If you've waited to the start of the year to change, then fair play, but just make sure you now kick on because I hate to break it to you, if you don't change anything you've done last year, you're going to end up exactly where you are this time next year and you're going to be a year older and you're going to be a year closer to your deathbed. So listen, let's smash this year up. I'm coming for everything. I hope you are as well. Yeah, and let's get it. Listen, I'm going to love and leave you guys. That was a little G up, ready for 2022. Let's have it this year. As I said, I'm ready to go, ready to rumble. If you're not following me on Instagram already, I'm not sure why. It's Lock Stock Tom. Let's go. See you all very soon. Peace.